Now, amid the AI boom, hyperscalers and governments are looking for ways to repurpose excess heat from data centres, including heating nearby homes. CNBC's April Roach has been looking into how the facilities are increasingly being integrated with local heating networks and joins us now. April, tell us more.
Morning. Yes, that's right. So I think the real game changer here is AI, because AI workloads are driving massive growth in data center compute, and this technology has existed for quite a while. But it's really, as these chips that data centers house are getting hotter and hotter, companies are having to look at new ways and innovations to cool these chips and also maximize efficiency while also not sacrificing their sustainability goals. So one of the ways they're looking at is to repurpose this excess heat from a data center and connect it to a local district heating network, and essentially create a kind of circular economy where the byproduct is waste heat, and you're benefiting not just the goals of big tech, but also cities and governments as well.
We've been talking in recent days around putting data centers into space through the lens of SpaceX. And we just read a story on how Elon Musk may try and bankroll the SpaceX endeavors, whether it's an IPO, rolling other endeavors together. When you look at what the industry is doing, tapping every little bit of source around heat and energy efficiency, just contextualize that for us and sort of where space sits versus that.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at distance, it's quite the reverse, isn't it? For this kind of technology, you're really looking at the kind of more medium-sized data centers that are located more close to cities and communities, so they can deliver that waste heat. And it's really just trying to take the most out of every resource that you can, really, that the data centers have. You know that they're not very attractive for a lot of cities and communities in the past. There's a lot of not in my backyard. So this is potentially a way that they could actually benefit from these facilities and potentially even lower consumers' electricity bills.
This is an old idea.
Yeah.
CHP, I was looking at it a long time ago, which is combined heat and power plants as well, which basically do the same thing, but not obviously for AI data centers as well. One of the obstacles is obviously cost and infrastructure.
Yeah.
So it's all very well having this amazing heat source, which will then potentially power homes and power other areas. But who's going to build the infrastructure and who's going to pay the cost of it as well? Because when all these amazing data center constructors and ultimate clients are doing their thing, they're under a lot of pressure cost-wise anyway. Who's going to pay for the links and making sure that the client is there as well?
That's a really good question. And when you think about why isn't a data center heating my home right now, that cost is one of the biggest barriers here. There's a lot of high upfront costs, a lot of capex, a lot of retrenching that has to be done to build these networks. And when it comes to who's investing, it has to come from the data center operators and the tech companies.
Did you say there was a case in Dublin?
Yes, there was a case in Dublin. Yeah. So the AWS data center obviously then had to set up that network itself, but also the local government formed its own energy utility company called HeatWorks to connect the data center to the district heating network. And then AWS actually provides that recycled heat free of charge. Yeah. So when you're looking at the benefit for the government to kind of make that investment, that long-term potential there is there for that heat to be supplied free of charge.
April, it sounds fantastic. Can it be done at scale?
That is a really good question again, and I think it's going to take time. I think the technology right now is changing. But traditionally, when you look to why this was done before, a lot of the heat that was being emitted was actually low quality heat, so it couldn't be directly used. But now they're actually able to raise the temperatures of what's being emitted, which is making this more directly usable. But you do need to have governments and all the players involved in that be willing to come together to make this work, as they did in that case in Dublin.